and we are the PWX AWA Tag Team Champions, Extreme Thunder, and you're listening to the Smack Raw Podcast, baby.
And there we go, we're live.
Welcome everyone to the Smack Raw Podcast Wrestlemania 36 recap show. I'm your host today, SCS Vince. I'm joined by the gang, Kai Tai, Kevin Crazy, and AJ Styles of podcasting back from the grave, and Mr. Sebastian himself. What is up, everyone?
Woo! Sebastian's back. Let's go.
Woo! Yeah. Yes. We had to dig him up to record the podcast, but we are here.
It's been about a month, guys. I missed you.
It's been a minute.
Miss you too, man.
Before we get started on today's show and start talking about the events of night one of WrestleMania 36, we do got to get the plugs out of the way. So go ahead and check out our Twitter and all our Facebook, all our social medias at Smack Raw Pod if you want to talk wrestling. Make sure to join our Discord server. It's the only wrestling podcast Discord server where you can talk wrestling and catch Pokemon at the same exact time.
I finally caught an Abra, man. I finally caught an Abra onto the legendaries.
Yeah, we accomplished our first trade with the Smack and the Raw podcast, so we're moving up in the Pokemon Discord world. Also, if you're checking us live on Twitter, Instagram, Periscope, whatever it is that we streaming on Facebook, go ahead and give this video a like, share this with all your friends, and wherever you consume this in audio form, any podcast site, go ahead and give it a download because it does help our algorithm and get the exposure for the show. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe. We already got to 100 subscribers. I'm going to be watching Cats. Going to be doing a review for
Yes!
that. That's my punishment. But we're greedy and we want more subscribers. So maybe once we get to 250, we can get Kevin to do something else.
Hey, you want to watch? Kyle. You want to watch Cats tomorrow?
I was gonna say, man, how did
tomorrow?
Are you free before WrestleMania? We can do it before WrestleMania.
Let's do it. Let's do it like sometime during the week, man. I want to mentally prepare for WrestleMania night 2 because we had such a great show to start it off. There was a couple like lows within the night, but overall, WrestleMania delivered, man. I'm amped up. I'm ready to go. Dude, I'm ready for night 2.
It was top heavy as fuck, man. I was starting to lose hope, but boy, they ramped it up. You know, that's probably got to be one of the things about. I mean, I hate to say it, but it being recorded. They got to feel out every match and line up the show to crescendo at the end of the night, and they ended it perfect. It was fucking awesome, dude.
You know what? Now that you say that, I thought about that during the Shayna-Becky match when I saw it wasn't going to main event or be one of the final 2 matches. I knew that it wasn't going to be that good because they had time to look over these matches. And I'm like, it probably wasn't that good or under-delivered or it had a result that nobody saw coming, which it did. And that's why it was put right there in the middle of the card tonight. What you guys think?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I
great
totally
insight,
agree.
guys. Love this.
No, and it was doo doo too. The way that ended, I was not into that match at all. Like
Fuck, dude.
I don't know.
I can't wait to talk to Kevin and find out why he wasn't into the Boneyard match.
Well,
that feels like the
I
one match tonight that everyone would be like in fucking harmony about.
Getting boned in the Boneyard. That's what I felt like.
You'd be surprised. Guys.
I didn't mind the Shayna match. I felt like it didn't get into high gear.
Yeah,
I felt like it was missing the final act. I feel like it was similar to the Charlotte Asuka match of last year's WrestleMania, or was it 2 years ago, where it was a really good match and then the finish happened. I felt like they were missing the third act before they got to the final act, and that's what they were missing. Also, too, Shayna just didn't look like she tried to kick out when she had
right.
But we're jumping ahead, guys. Do you want to just get started with in chronological order and go from there?
Yeah, what'd y'all think of Stephanie McMahon's intro to the show? Was it heartfelt or did it seem corporate?
It felt like a combination of the two.
Yeah,
dude,
I would agree with that.
I took it as like a breath of fresh air. I was like, I'm waiting for someone into your company to acknowledge this, and then it got me hyped. Between that and then the discount Jack Sparrow we got for the intro,
like the intro was badass,
dude. I was fucking amped for WrestleMania on the drive home. Like I was sitting there ready. Yeah. Like I was like hyping myself. I don't give a fuck. There's no one there. Like I was prep talking myself.
Okay, let me guys ask you this. Were you surprised at how well Gronk kind of felt like he meshed with the entire setting of the show? I felt like he didn't take away from the show, didn't necessarily add to it, but it was a nice, like, sprinkled in effect to WrestleMania. I personally thought he might have helped some stuff.
Dude, you are so fired. Gronk was trash. Like, what the fuck are you talking
You know what though, Vince? I agree with you, and you know why? Because and I fucking hate Gronk as a Buffalo
I hate him
Bills
too.
fan.
Yo, I'm a Patriots fan, and I was like, this is garbage.
Well,
sorry, Kev.
Now you know how I feel.
Okay, go ahead, Kevin.
Sorry, man.
I thought it was kind of cool because it was like he like him and Mojo Riley would kind of pop, you know, like when things would happen and stuff like that, and they were like doing the yes chant like when Daniel Bryan was coming out. Like I thought that was cool, and it kind of, you know, added to the show, like you said. I mean,
dude, he said like only one person can start a party at 7 and keep it going 40 hours later. I was like, dude, shut the fuck up, Gronk.
So the context of like what he was saying wasn't necessarily good, but like his placement was well used. Like to start off the show, get the upbeat feeling going to start off WrestleMania. They were reacting to like some of the stuff in the women's match, which is what kicked off. Like Kevin said, they were yesing with Daniel Bryan. They got me really into it. It reminded me of what AEW was doing with the wrestlers in the crowd.
Yes.
That was something very well. And also too, he didn't overplay his card. He wasn't just like thrown into our face a lot. He was sprinkled in between, and Mojo walked away as 24/7 champion too. So
I know.
overall, I thought it was going to be Gronk that walked away with the title. But let's start off with the women's tag title match: Bliss Cross versus Kabuki Warriors. Kairi Sane, Asuka, they looked amazing. All four of these women looked amazing. They had a lot of great energy to start this match.
Not Alexa Bliss. Excuse me, Nikki Cross. It was a star-making performance from her, man. She survived.
Oh yeah, she was
fucking
MVP
Asuka,
of that match.
Yeah, man. She survived Asuka and Kairi Sane. Like that made Alexa Bliss right there. That's what that was. Oh, not Alexa Bliss, excuse me, Nikki Cross. My bad.
Yeah. Overall, I thought it was really good. Like I said, they brought great energy. I thought the characters like really showed out in this match, and it was a great way to start off WrestleMania. I thought it was the perfect match to kick things off. They knew what they were doing. I think it did help the fact that they filmed all these matches and were able to like structure them in whichever order they wanted. And honestly, JBL on commentary, nice change of pace. I actually liked him. He was actually adding to the show.
I don't know, man. All I could think about was screaming in my head, John O'Clock. Like, it's John O'Clock, motherfucker. And if any of you have ever seen What Culture, you know what I'm talking about. But that's all I could think about when I heard JBL on there.
Oh, my gosh. But it was Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss started making showing for them. They got the win. Although it was a very bogus looking Twisted Bliss that won it, she didn't even connect it fully. It was more on like Kairi Sane's like ankles or whatever.
Yeah, it was bad.
But nonetheless, they regained the women's tag titles. Sebastian, overall, like what you thought of this match, man?
That was a pretty good match. Pretty good opener. They had a lot of energy. Awesome. Shit talking the whole time. Even my company over there was like, man, they talk a lot.
Dude, Asuka was talking some trash. Every time she was like, I know. I was like, oh, fuck. It sounds like my kid when he's pissed off at me.
That fucking dance that she does is the bomb. I love that. It's so goddamn funny.
I mean, they delivered, I thought, for a pretty good opener.
For sure. One thing that I did notice between this match and the following match, which was King Corbin versus Elias, and we weren't sure if it was going to happen right away because they were playing off like the killing or the reenactment of the Lion King spot from like 2 weeks ago. I mean, I wasn't too sure about this match just because they were too loud. I felt like they were just being loud just to be loud in this match. And the fact that there's no crowd really like opened up my eyes to who's really good at like talking or trash talking in the ring or is able to like adapt as opposed to an Elias and Baron Corbin.
That's a good way to put it.
Some people were just annoyed with like just being so loud and talking the entire time.
I wasn't annoyed by their talking, but at this point I started to get like nervous about the show. because I was like, okay, Elias and Corbin are losing me. There's nothing special going. Like, nothing is making this a WrestleMania match right now. And I was like, oh, man, I was starting to lose faith in the show. But I didn't notice so much the talking. But you're right. I mean, obviously, like, with the match previous, the Asuka, her trash talking was amazing, so you pick up on it. This match, I didn't pick up on anything, and I was, like, apathetic. I was like, who cares? I was surprised, though, that Elias got the win, though.
Yeah, it was almost everyone unanimously had King Corbin winning here, and it's just one of those things where like Elias doesn't pick up too many big wins, and for whatever reason, Vince McMahon and WWE just love Baron Corbin, and they like to give him wins.
That's
So
exactly why I went to Corbin. My company was like, "You pick Corbin." Yeah. Unless you're Roman Reigns, you can't beat him. But here's Elias, so whatever.
But you know what? One thing that I have noticed, and the guys from the Going In Raw podcast have said this: Baron Corbin's kryptonite is a roll-up pin.
Yes,
if you can roll up Baron Corbin, he will lose, and that's what happened tonight.
Yeah.
But
that
going
holds
into
true
this
almost
match,
2 years fucking later, dude.
Going into this match, Kyle said he was kind of starting to lose the show. I didn't really lose it, but I think that has more to do with going into the match. This was the sole match I didn't care about in the first place. Like I was hoping Elias didn't even come out. I was hoping he forfeited.
I thought it was gonna be Gronkowski versus Baron Corbin. I for real thought that was gonna be the WrestleMania celebrity spot. Elias can't make it, so Gronkowski steps in after like Corbin does some shit talking or something.
I'm just not into Elias in the ring, man. I can't get him.
Dude, he was like really aggressive though. He showed some fucking
the only
grit,
one in
man.
this goddamn podcast show that doesn't appreciate Elias in the ring. Like he does nothing for me.
Kevin, what's your opinion, man?
I don't think he's great in the ring, but like I don't think he's bad. Like I'm not like I don't think that like detracts necessarily from my feeling of Elias because like I think Elias is hilarious too, and I think that his mic work kind of elevates his in-ring stuff, but his in-ring stuff is mediocre.
Right.
The only Elias match I can remember actually was him against the Intercontinental Championship couple years.
Which one?
A couple years ago, him and Rollins went at Money in the Bank for the IC title.
I think I remember that. I think I remember that.
Seb, I gotta ask you really quick, man.
What?
Is your Ethernet cable plugged in?
Yeah.
Oh, we're in for a long night then, folks.
Sebastian, just make sure it's not plugged into your Wi-Fi, and it's using the Ethernet, not the Wi-Fi, dude. In the meantime, let's carry on the show. Elias does win with roll-up. And moving on, the match we were talking at the top of the show: Becky Lynch, Shayna Baszler, Raw Women's Championship. Becky arrives inside of Optimus Prime.
Yo, this would have been awesome had they not shown her in that fucking big rig for the last 3 weeks. That would have been fucking awesome, dude.
For sure. Kevin, overall, man, this match, man, did it do anything for you?
I mean, it wasn't bad. It wasn't great, though, either, Like, I had some pretty high expectations going into this match, too, I thought it was, built really well. The rivalry couldn't have been hotter, than what it was going into WrestleMania. And then it was like, what we were saying before, like it just felt like it kind of just fizzled out in the second act. You know what I mean? Like it felt like they needed like 5-10 more minutes to really finish telling the story.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, also too for me, Kyle. I mean, you can agree with or disagree right now with what I'm gonna say. I do feel like the ending, what ruined it was Shayna didn't look like she tried to kick out.
She's lost to that like 3 times. That's the thing is like anybody who's watched NXT has already seen her lose like with the same roll up, which adds to what you're saying. You think you'd be able to kick out of this by now. Not that you have a match you lose by it, another match that you learn from that mistake, and in the same moment you kick out, and then you go to main roster, and then you lose to it all over again. That's what threw me off. Is like I've already seen her lose like this.
Yeah.
What do you think, Seb?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I didn't mind the finish. The problem for me was really they just didn't get in high. I thought they was laying their stuff in. I thought it was a hard-hitting match. I know what you all were saying about the finish, but to me, the story they've been telling is Shayna's just undestructible. She has no weaknesses, and then leave it to the GOAT, Becky Lynch, to go through the film, find that one weakness.
If they address it on the Raw after Mania, I would be okay with it, saying, "Oh, I studied film." Like actually show a montage of her watching Shayna Baszler NXT matches.
And that might be a thing. I don't know. And two, we all picked Shayna, but afterwards, I was like, I really shouldn't have, because she's had the belt for over a year now.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to lose. They're not going to take the belt with no fans in there.
That's true.
I should have. I told myself that. I haven't told
Oh, that makes me really scared for Drew McIntyre tomorrow.
I was actually about to ask that. Do you think that would change the outcome of the Drew McIntyre match?
Really, dude.
I hope not. Jesus.
And see, you can't really have Shayna tap, because then the feud's over at that point. So they had to come up with some kind of, finish to kind of protect Shayna.
That makes last year's and this year's WrestleMania matches that Becky Lynch took part of have fucking odd finishes.
Yeah. Well, this finish I didn't think was as bad as last year.
No, not nearly as bad, but it falls kind of in a similar category.
Oh,
I think the one thing we forget as wrestling fans in the midst of this whole new era of just doing flippy shit, and flippy dudes or whatever it is that
Flipsy dudes.
Yeah.
In the era of flipsy dudes, we forget that the point of a wrestling match is not to beat them up until they can't get up. It's to pin their shoulders to the mat until they can't escape a count of three. So in this case, Becky Lynch has been able to do this 2 years in a row, whether the ref's seen it or not. She was able to pin the shoulders to the mat, get a 1-2-3 pinfall, amateur wrestling style. Maybe that's just who she is. She's just outsmarting all these wrestlers and being a tactician. She doesn't have to be the best wrestler. She just has to be able to hold your shoulders to the mat for 3 seconds.
Yeah, the problem for me wasn't a finish at all. It was just, to me, they just never really took it to where I thought it would have went.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's why we had the Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins match, because that was the one we were allowed to fucking get really amped into, but it was a while before we got to it. Seth, she pinned Shayna after Shayna went for the
Kurafuda clutch.
Thank you, Kurafuda clutch. She rolls backwards, same thing Kairi Sane did for I think her win, and
that's how Kairi won.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it Karafuda? I thought it was Karabuda.
No, Karafuda.
I thought it was Carolina. I don't know.
It could have been Barricade.
Carolina, Karakuda, I don't care. Tapping
I thought it was Buddha.
So,
anyways, let me
ask a question, guys, before we move on from this and on to the IC title match. Given what we saw tonight with the Becky Lynch title match, who takes the title off of Becky Lynch?
Ronda.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Ronda Rousey. She gets it back. She never lost it. She comes back, beats Becky, and then they have a trilogy.
Ronda or Shayna? With the finish.
Yeah.
Well, what I would like to see is, I'd like to see Ronda come back and get it, then have Shayna, beat Ronda for it, and then Becky win the title back off of. I don't know. I'm lost now. I had it figured out in my head before. Never mind.
The room's getting smaller. I can't breathe.
Yeah, man.
It's really hard to predict now, because who knows after. Because they only got up the
Dude,
Raw.
everyone thought it was going to be Shayna.
So, does this go into the reports earlier on saying that Vince McMahon has soured on Shayna Baszler?
That was the first thing I thought of, and I was like, dude, I don't want to be that cynical. I don't want to be that Dave Meltzer fucking bait biter.
I don't think so, or she wouldn't have killed all 5 Elimination Chambers.
That's true. But still, man. Look what they did with Braun.
I just don't... Just thinking about it with hindsight, they would have never took the belt off Becky in the empty arena.
Yeah, because it would mean so much more if they.
She's had that belt for so long, and even if you go 6-7 months before she got the belt, that character, in a lot of ways, is carried the company. They wouldn't have done it.
Yeah. We'll see.
And they protected her. They could have, if Shayna would have tapped out, then I'd kind of maybe think that.
Shayna did look a little defeated, almost kind of like Bayley after she lost to Charlotte. And she's trying to question whether or not she's actually this good. Maybe she was just a big fish in a small pond down in NXT.
Oh,
and now that she's
I hope not, man. I really fucking hope not.
No. I hope that it's more like a story where she has to adapt and adjust. Because like I don't want her to be this unstoppable like Brock Lesnar character. I want her to be more of a Samoa Joe type character that gets actual wins.
Oh fuck! Could you imagine Shayna Baszler doing promos with Joe, like together?
Holy shit.
Ooh, fuck,
do a table for 3 with Samoa Joe and Shayna Baszler and nobody else. Just the 2 of them.
The third person didn't make it.
Yeah. Another thing too, if you want to like dive into why Becky won and all that. Right now they only have up to Monday's Raw taped, and there's a stay-at-home order. They might not even be able to tape anymore. It's probably not a good idea, knowing that, have Becky lose the belt and then not be able to do a show for 2 months.
Also, too, how many times have we seen at WrestleMania someone retain their title or win the title and then lose it immediately the next night on Raw?
It's happened several times, man.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if they do like a rematch, like brawl match or like a parking lot brawl match or something like that, and Shayna gets the title on Monday.
I don't expect too much tomorrow or Monday. I don't.
We'll see what happens.
Well, that's we'll save that. Well, no, let's save that for the end of the show. How about that? Like the Monday after Raw. We'll save it for the end of the show.
Okay, guys. IC title match: Daniel Bryan, Sami Zayn. Did it live up to your expectations?
Fuck no, dude. Oh my god, no. This was supposed to be the Kevin Owens Seth Rollins match in my mind. But I should have known better. You don't have the story to make it that dramatic. I was just hoping that everybody on the outside would get their interference in early and leave, and you'd finish it Sammy and Daniel Bryan, nobody else around. Just let these guys fight it the fuck out.
It was looking like that for a good stretch of the match.
Yeah, I missed it. You guys can fill me in because I don't know what was going on. I missed a bunch of this match apparently, including the finish where it almost came across like a botch. Like I heard that Zayn hit a haluva kick while Daniel Bryan was coming off the top ropes.
Yeah, it was basically like a big boot.
But they said they made it like it was out of nowhere, and then like I said, it just, I guess with no audience, the awkward silence just registered completely wrong to me because I just looked down when it happened. You know, so to me, like I registered it like how like a botch sounds when there's no reaction from the crowd. When that fucking makes sense because there was no fucking crowd. God damn it.
I mean, Kevin, you got a chance to watch the majority of this match, right?
Yeah.
Overall, like, Phil Cowan of what basically happened in the match, or like what worked in the match or what didn't.
Well, I thought it,
on your end.
I liked it all right. I mean, I don't know that it was like the best match of the night, or I don't think it was the worst either. But like, I thought there were really two distinct stories told in the match. You know, it was the first half was basically like, Sami Zayn didn't want to actually face Daniel Bryan, essentially, so he was running away from him the whole time. Mm-hmm. And then the second half was basically Sami Zayn couldn't keep running away and beat up Daniel Bryan. You know what I mean? Of course, Daniel Bryan did get his hands on him for a while, and it looked like Bryan was going to just kick his ass the whole time. But yeah, I mean, I felt like it was two big stories told in the match, and I was into it. But
yeah, to me, it felt like almost like Sami Zayn escaped with the victory. Did that feel like that to you, Seb and guys?
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that. Yeah. Even though it was like at the time when the match started to end, Sami Zayn even had the upper hand for a minute. Mm-hmm. It was like, except for obviously, with the kick that led to the pin, but like he had really controlled the match before that, and it was like Daniel Bryan was kind of coming back at that point, and he squashed his comeback.
It really felt sudden. Like it felt like such a clean, decisive victory is what came away. I didn't expect it to be so definitive on Sami Zayn's side, unless this turns into a feud.
I think it will. It will,
yeah.
Kyle. One thing that I loved about this entire fucking match, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the Shibata match or like 2019, 2020, Kota Ibushi, where he's like no selling the chops and strikes. Like it felt like everything that Daniel Bryan was striking and hitting on Sami was hurting him 1,000 times worse than anything Sami Zayn could have done to Bryan. Bryan was just like, "Go ahead, hit me again. Go ahead. Is that all you got?" He was no selling everything. I loved it, man. I thought that was great. I thought that was the best part of the match.
Fucking Sebastian, what do you think of Sami Zayn crying in the ring?
I laugh. It got me off guard. Like I don't, that's his character now, but I didn't think he'd take it. But
That was commitment.
The finish caught me off guard. I picked Zayn to win, but I was expecting a non-finish.
Same here, man. Same here.
But, no, it was clean.
Hell yeah! Did y'all catch the preview for The Last Ride, that Undertaker show that's gonna air?
Oh, it looked good. It looked so good.
That wasn't. Was it a 24 or is it something else entirely?
It was just called The Last Ride, so it looks like it's just gonna document either the last year or the last couple years of.
I think it's a series.
Career.
I think I heard it's just gonna be a series. Yeah,
it is a series.
It's fucking crazy. They announced the WWE 24 for Edge as well.
Yeah.
Yes, they did that.
Oh,
so
fucking Royal Rumble.
I love that WWE is shelling out all this content for the network for us while we're all bored and isolated in our homes.
Right? It's awesome.
It's a great time. Great time.
Speaking of which, Angle versus Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania.
Angles versus Shawn Michaels.
Sorry, you cut off towards the end.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 21.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Have you all seen it?
Of course, man. We've all seen that.
There's an Untold. If you're into the WWE Untold, it now.
There's an Untold for that match.
Oh, that's so, dude. I love the WWE Untolds. Like I watched, I think the Ray and Eddie one, and that one fucked me up. And then I think I was watching, what match was it? It was the Hell in a Cell match between Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, where Kane debuted. Gold.
I think Angle and Michaels from that match. I think it's probably a top 3 underrated WrestleMania.
I think it's one of the greatest matches I've seen since I've been a fan, man.
Yeah.
This might be a little off topic, but still, I wish I could have been a fly on the wall to hear everybody's reaction after the Armageddon 2000 match with Stone Cold, The Rock, fucking Kurt Angle, Rikishi.
When Rikishi died.
Yeah, Rikishi. Fucking Undertaker, I think, was in there. Everybody.
Yeah.
Dude, I bet those guys had the biggest fucking party for themselves after that match went off air. Mm-hmm. They had to have celebrated. That would have been the shit. Be backstage.
Yeah, how do you think Kofi Kingston, the New Day, the Usos, and Miz and Morrison were celebrating about their match being changed last minute because of the Miz showing up to the PC being sick?
Dude.
Did you guys hear about why this match was changed?
Yeah.
No, I honestly don't know.
Go ahead. Yeah, let them know.
So, while following Kevin and anyone that might not know the details, the gist of the whole story is that Miz showed up to tapings and he was sick, or he was fluish, or he had some kind of symptoms. He was under the weather, and he got heat backstage, and they sent him his ass home. I want to say the creative team. I know the Usos were pissed at him, and even John Morrison was one of the most.
It's the official reasoning to why Roman Reigns didn't wrestle. He spotted Miz being sick and was like, "Fuck that, I'm out."
Probably.
Yeah.
Yo, does anyone else see Sebastian chugging like a bad man?
Yeah, I see that too. I see that
He
shit
must
too.
have timed
But
out.
you guys need to watch the YouTube version of this. Sebastian's screen froze up again, but mid chug.
Or maybe it's just a very deep can of beer he's got.
He's
going
very
on
thirsty right now.
He's very thirsty. Or he's committed to the bit. He's committed to the bit.
Yeah, he was like, nah, I ain't.
But that was the gist of the ladder match.
Okay.
That's why it was changed. So instead of changing that doing something else, trying to salvage it. They just had a member of the New Day, a member of the Usos, and then Morrison. And honestly, they picked the right people. Honestly, you could have picked any member of the Usos and just thrown them in there. They're both equally great, but I thought they picked the 3 best and most athletic guys out of all 3 tag teams to put on a great tag team match. And I just gotta say, parkour.
Parkour.
Hell yeah!
It's The Office, Kevin. Don't worry, it's all right.
I know The Office.
Yeah, he got it.
Have you
just no sold
me? Michael Scott?
Oh, man.
Get out of here!
Hey, you know what this reminded me of was? Have you guys heard of the Forgotten TLC match?
No.
Exactly. No, TLC 2.
Oh, I guess we lost Kevin.
So,
Sebastian.
Yeah, we lost Kevin.
Nah, I'm still here.
Okay.
So, TLC 2 was held on SmackDown, and it was the original trio. The Hardys, the Dudleys, and Edge and Christian.
Yeah.
But they say it's the forgotten TLC match because it was just on a weekly episode of SmackDown, and no one fucking remembers it. Everyone remembers TLC 1 and 3, but TLC 2 never gets remembered because it was a throwaway episode. Yeah, I learned this because I read a Hardy Boys book when I was a kid. But that's where all this is coming from. So
your rating is what you're doing.
What? I'm not reading.
What
right
does
now.
that mean?
No, I meant in general.
I don't even know how to read.
Because I don't read at all. That's where I was going with the thing.
Well, while Sebastian's gone, you guys go ahead and talk about anything left in the ladder match or what happened between Rollins and Kevin Owens. I'm gonna try and get our logo on the fucking screen.
Okay, sounds good. Kevin, you want to take the lead on this, or you want me to go?
Go ahead, man.
Okay,
go ahead.
So, like I was saying, parkour was the theme of the night. A lot of fun.
Whoa! Our logo took up the whole screen. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. Jesus. Okay. But yeah, a lot of fun spots. A lot of trash, not trash, crashes taking place. It felt like a car crash. There was this one spot where I think it was Jimmy Uso that was tossed off a ladder into the outside, and they changed the camera angle and they added a sound effect to make it seem like he just cracked his skull or something on the outside. I thought it was very, very well done. I think Morrison did a Starship Pain in the corner and just very barely made it. It was so good. And
you're talking about when he had Jimmy Uso on the ladder propped up between the ropes?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Starship Pain is one of the worst finishers. I'm sorry, you guys. It's up there with the Bailey to Belly. Okay, this does not look devastating. It's so trash. Okay, you guys.
It looks cool, but it doesn't look like it would actually hurt. I think that's the big thing.
That's what it's all about in wrestling. Before it hurts. Why did doing a fucking 600 spin hurt more than just jumping your fat body on somebody? You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god.
That's the logic I use. More flipsy doos, the more pain factor. The Starship fucking Pain is.
This is the guy that works with Rob on the regular. So let's just we'll put that on there.
So. Let me ask you this, Kevin. Did you love the tightrope spot with John Morrison when he was on one side of the turnbuckle, then walked the ropes to get to Kofi Kingston and then do the what's it called? The something splash?
Shit.
That flipping rock bottom thing. I'm trying to blank.
The Spanish Fly?
Spanish Fly,
yes.
Yeah. So he does.
He does a huge fucking Spanish Fly, man, off the top ropes.
Super awesome. I loved that spot.
Yeah. Jimmy comes in afterwards, hits the Uso splash again. Can't say enough about the stuff they were doing in this match. It was a car crash, a train wreck. Go and watch it if you just like shit just blowing up. It felt like when you just get online with 2 of your other friends and play a WWE ladder match on 2K and just go online and just start doing a bunch of crazy shit with no intention. I thought it's the funniest thing. There's one indie wrestler, GPA, that's from the northwest region. He was saying that it's just funny how wrestling. They are this is a match where they gotta climb on the ladder to grab a thing, but they're out here doing all this crazy flippy bullshit without actually the main focus of trying to climb up a ladder and grab the thing that they're trying to grab.
It's the only time they're able to climb shit is when they want to jump off it. But if they want to climb the ladder to catch the fucking belt, hey, listen, you photobombing kid.
Yeah, you gotta go to bed, dude. It's late. You're supposed to be in bed. I'm gonna come in there and give you an RKO if you don't. Oh my god. Go to bed,
guys,
seriously.
The only thing this match was missing was some dramatic Dragon Ball Z music. That was the only thing this match was missing.
Listen now. I added Dragon Ball Z music, threw it in the chat, and y'all didn't fucking say shit about it. It was awesome.
I sold it. I popped. What you talking about? I popped for it on the chat. Sebastian even tweeted about it, and I agree. I'm actually gonna make an edit later too, and just upload it. Just share it to everybody.
All these empty arena matches. All they need is Dragon Ball Z music, and the crowd is forgotten. Like, it's instantly forgotten, and this product is a million times better. I promise you, man. Just try it. Just try it. Go out there and try it.
We'll try it for sure, man. But let's wrap up this match with the finish. Everybody climbs up on separate ladders to get to the belts. They are able to all unlash it, so they got the titles separated. They're unhooked. But since they all have the title, they're all holding on to the little like hook that has the championships. They're all still technically.
I call it like the rung. It feels like it's like a rung. It's like a giant clothes hanger.
Yeah, so they're all in possession of the giant clothes hanger, and Jimmy and Kofi are just smacking John Morrison with them, just to get him to hop off the ladder and fall down onto the other ladder that was set up. Like prone, so that he can fall through it and break it. But as John Morrison fell, he grabs onto the titles for dear life, trying to get a balance or something. But because they're made out of Velcro, he just comes down with the titles and accidentally wins the match. I
know.
What you guys think of the ending? Did you guys approve of the Velcro? And did you overall what you thought of the ending?
Dude, it was perfect.
I was okay with it.
I thought it was perfect. I thought it was perfect storytelling with John Morrison. There's no way he comes back and he beats Kofi Kingston and Jimmy Uso in like a match where they're together. Like, no.
Yeah.
You come away lucky. It's like how Ed and Christian kept winning the tag titles when they faced off against the Hardys and the Dudleys, man. They just kept keeping those belts by the skin of their teeth, and it was perfect. I was more impressed that it was how many times have we seen the belts defended, tag team titles defended when you don't have actual tag teams in the ring? I asked you guys.
First time.
I don't know.
That was the first time. The last time, the only times I remember like a single man defending the titles, it's in the handicap match situation. That's the only time I've ever seen it. I've never seen two singles competitors defending a tag team title. You know, it was a very odd situation. Again, unfortunately, dude, you should have just stayed at home, bro. You shouldn't have like came in sick. But this is what we got, man. It delivered though. I thought it was great. And the fact that they were taped, you can start to see a trend. Because the first match was pretty good, gets your energy going. Then it's Elias Corbin. Then you slowly moving up from Becky and Shayna. You get Daniel and Sammy. Now you get this ladder match, and then you build up to Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins.
My goodness, bro!
The match in general.
This is the one that has you yelling in your living room when no one's around, man. You celebrate how many? I'd love to know how many thousands, if not millions, of people fucking shouted when Kevin Owens jumped off the goddamn WrestleMania set.
Holy shit,
dude! Oh,
I stood up so fast I almost knocked my fucking chair over.
Yes,
like I swear to God, it was crazy.
You know what's funny? I almost popped as hard for that Kevin Owens spot as I did for Seth Rollins coming out with an actual Messiah gear. You really he had like the robe all in white.
Yo, he looked like the Exalted One without the hood. Okay, come on down. It looked exactly like. Oh shit!
Sebastian's back.
He just has to unmute his mic, but let's keep going.
I gotta fix the cropping. No, y'all go ahead. Okay.
Now. So this match started off as a singles match. It was a solid brawl type of match, like almost like a Stone Cold type match, where he had a match with Rock. It's standard wrestling moves, but you have a lot of striking, a lot of brawls to the outside. It ends abruptly because Seth Rollins grabs the ring belt and just whacks Kevin Owens with it. Kevin Owens technically wins. And for me, I was like, what? Really? That's how they're going to end it?
Rob Roode tapped out, said he was done with WrestleMania for the night when he saw that. Rob Roode was like, I'm done.
Yeah!
He's like, yep, WrestleMania lost me.
What the hell?
But they swerved us. They swerved us. Had Kevin Owens call Seth Rollins a little bitch. I'm sorry, if you get called a little bitch, you can't just not rematch it as a no DQ match.
Yeah, exactly. Well, no, you can. You can. Okay, because wrestling. All right, so there's always that.
You know what I like to call that? That's video game logic. So when you're playing with your buddy,
listen, video game logic is for the Strowman Goldberg match later on, and I can't wait for that. I cannot.
Okay. So you know what this was then? What? It was them playing Monopoly. Seth Rollins flipped the board and said I'm out. Kevin Owens like, let's play it, no holds barred, and then they just redid it.
Yeah, they just set Monopoly up by memory. Yeah, they just kept going.
They kept going, and then went on to be a no DQ match afterwards. They restarted the whole thing. Seth Rollins took control initially, but Kevin Owens took control right back. Smacked him with the same ring bell that he got hit with. Like you said, he just dove. He launched himself from the WrestleMania sign onto Seth Rollins. Yeah. Shane McMahon-esque. I know Rob would have been proud.
Let's put this under a little bit bigger of a magnifying glass. The match gets restarted as a no DQ match. So Kevin Owens, who just got nailed by the ring bell, laid out, man. But he hops on the mic, and like you said, he calls him a little bitch. Bam, no DQ match restarted. Seth Rollins lays him out with a chair, with the stairs, everything. Like, completely beats Kevin Owens down, is trash talking that whole time. One ring bell shot, and then the pan back, and then just watching Kevin Owens climb up, because I didn't understand what was going on at first. But, dude, the anticipation as you watched Kevin Owens climb the back of the WrestleMania sign, and the camera pan back, you didn't even realize a spot like that could occur inside the Performance Center. That's what occurred to me, was you didn't even realize a high spot like that could even happen.
Honestly, I didn't even notice the WrestleMania sign until like halfway through this match.
It's like you probably thought it was CG, right? Like everything else.
I thought it was just like a cardboard cutout that they just put to the side. I thought it was just like very, very thin. I didn't think he can climb it.
No, I legitimately did think it was like CG or something. Honestly, like I really did. I was like, no way. And then he started climbing it, and I was like, they're not going to have a spot like this with no goddamn crowd, right? You know, that's what I kept thinking. But they did it, and it worked.
I thought it was great.
It was crazy.
After the dive, it doesn't take too long for them to get back into the ring and have Seth Rollins beg for mercy.
Hold on, before that, take a moment to recognize. Have either of you, when you were kids, just had the wind knocked out of you? Mm-hmm. You get like that half breath, like the like that going on?
Yes.
Dude, that's exactly what Seth Rollins was doing. I could think back to was like when my stepbrother fucked himself up mountain biking with me. And I heard that noise, and I was like, all I could think about was like it was one of the most brutal accidents I've ever seen in person. And then I instantly was like, oh, Seth is fucked up. Like, he's so fucked up right now.
Oh yeah. Jesus. It's brutal.
Yeah. But no. Oh, wait. I think Sebastian might be back.
It could be a false alarm.
It could be.
It could just be a false alarm.
Yeah.
Okay, I see visual. That's about it.
We see his refrigerator. What do you
anyway.
So let's move on. Let's move on to like the ending of the match.
Y'all go ahead. I'm gonna message Sebastian and let him know that we're staring at his fridge.
That's fine. So eventually, like once Seth and Kevin are able to regather themselves, they manage to get inside the ring. At that point, Seth Rollins is basically just begging for mercy. Kevin Owens is having none of it. You can feel and you can see in his face and the body language from both wrestlers that this was the good guy finally getting that satisfying victory over that dick, that troll, that annoyance of Seth Rollins. And he finally got to come up and stunned him 1, 2, 3. I love the way Seth sold it because a lot of people sell the stunner by like just jumping and flipping and doing like a rock
like
type
super
oversell.
Dramatic, but he fucking died.
He just collapsed. He just collapsed. I thought that was dope. Sebastian,
you guys hear me?
Yes!
Woo! My Wi-Fi has been going in and out like crazy. I don't know.
Dude, I texted you. I looked up and you were on the screen. That just blew my mind.
So, Sebastian, we just ran through the Seth Rollins Kevin Owens match. Overall, like anything you want to add to this match? What you liked, what you didn't like?
Hold on, before I get to that, just a heads up, it might go out again. Apparently, it's trying to do an update, and they don't know how long. I just got off the phone with them.
No, it's all good, man.
The ladder match, it was up there with Boneyard for me. I enjoyed the hell out of that, and Kevin Owens and Rollins was great too. I thought those two and Boneyard was the 3 highlights.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. The matches towards the end really picked up and felt like WrestleMania.
Y'all are sleeping on Strowman and Goldberg. I just want to get to it.
Okay. So let's move on to the second segment. After that, we had Gronk and Mojo. They were in the Crow's Nest area, and they're just trying to hype out the crowd, just talking about how WrestleMania has been going on so far. R-Truth pops in, the indie darling that he is, America's sweetheart, and he's trying to hide from everyone. He's not trying to defend his title. He's like, yo, man, it's hard out there, like, can I hide up here with you guys? But Gronk and Mojo just look at Truth, and then Gronk just wails and just knocks R-Truth out. He tries to pin him. Mojo breaks it up. He actually gets the pin on R-Truth. Mojo Rawley's the new 24/7 champion. R-Truth looks baffled. The question is, does R-Truth walk away with the 24/7 title tomorrow night? Does he leave WrestleMania weekend with the title? Or who leaves as 24/7 champion?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, that is a good question.
We could have that as a prop bet.
Sebastian, who's going to be 24/7 champion end of tomorrow night?
I'm not predicting anything. I suck.
Hey, well, okay. Let me ask you this: do you think Gronk will eventually get the title sometime tomorrow?
For at least 5 seconds. Like, he'll get it. He'll either leave with it or he'll get it for a segment.
Yeah.
But Gronk holds that belt at some point.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I think it's something you have to do. After that, we had like a standard Paul Heyman interview with Charlie Caruso.
He jumped the shit out of her, man.
I know.
Charlie,
Like, it was almost kind of creepy.
Poor Charlie. It was her first chance on TV, and Paul Heyman was like, "Ladies and gentlemen," behind her ear. Yeah, man. Thanks, man. You make the work life real easy, Paul. Thank you.
I know, man. Just like ease up, bro. Ease up. Just some standard Heyman stuff. Nothing too out of the ordinary, other than the jump scare that he gave Charlie Caruso. After that, we had probably the match of the night, which was the Universal title match between Braun Strowman and Goldberg.
Yes.
I kid, but it was basically these two guys came in with unlimited finishers and decided
unfucking limited finishers.
Unlimited finishers.
Who here thought though that he would actually hit a jackhammer? Did any of you even consider the chance he could hit a jackhammer?
No, my brother even asked me. He's like, "Are they a jackhammer hitting tonight?" And I'm like, "No."
Hell no.
Bro, if he couldn't get
as soon as
Undertaker, he barely got up Bray. There's no way he's getting Strowman up.
Well, that's what I was just gonna say. Like, my mind went back to the Taker match that he had, and I was like, if he tries that with Strowman, like he's gonna die.
He'll
You know what I
collapse.
mean?
He was concussed there. I was thinking about the Bray one more than I was Taker. I mean, he was concussed.
Yeah, Bray lost to a
true.
fucking
That's true.
suplex, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, one thing about this whole thing. During Goldberg's entrance, I forgot the Universal title was blue. I legit forgot that title was blue. I'm like, wait, hold up, it's blue? Me and my sister, me and my sisters were just like, wait, what the fuck? It's blue? What the fuck? Like, that's how little we've seen the title on TV since Bray has won the Universal title and brought it over to SmackDown, and then Goldberg had his title run. We haven't seen that title on SmackDown consistently, so I forget what it looks like. And then Bray Wyatt, for like a spell there, he had his face on it. That's another thing that happened.
dude, my favorite thing was that social distancing took away Goldberg's entire security staff. He had two guys open the door for him, and then they had to leave him behind. And then there was.
He didn't look nearly as intimidating.
Hell no,
you know?
dude. Was there any sparks? All I recalled was like fire extinguishers going off,
like edge smoke, like Becky Lynch.
Yeah, like he just had a couple fire extinguishers go off. That was his thing. Dude, they totally squashed him through his entrance.
Did any of you guys get the match time for that? Was
I did.
It over under 3 minutes?
It was under 2 minutes.
Under 2 minutes.
I actually have the time right here. I'll read it live on air. Okay, wait, never mind. It was just over. It was 2 minutes, 11 seconds.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah, 2 minutes, 11 seconds, bell to bell, man.
I mean, basically, it was 4 spears from Goldberg and then 4 running power slams from Braun, and then Braun won. That was basically
that was the whole match.
that was the entire.
I fucking love Goldberg matches now, though. If he's losing or if there's no belt, I love him because it is just spam your finisher. Could you imagine if he faces like a top rope wrestler? Could you imagine Ricochet doing like 2 fucking 640s back to back? Like just 640 on Goldberg, then 640 again. I'm just saying, like, I love it, man. I love the concept of finisher after finisher.
Only if he gets speared for one of them.
It just stands up, fucking spears Ricochet.
Let me ask. The one thing I noticed here, and I think I had this moment of clarity, almost like after you know, like after you have sex, and then you have this clarity, like you think straight. Like once Goldberg lost the title, I was thinking straight, and my head was cleared. I'm like, I actually enjoy Goldberg matches for the gimmick that they are. I just hated that he was the Universal Champion because I remember his match with Dolph Ziggler when Dolph just like, you can't beat me, that was a fluke, and he came out and beat him like 3 or 5 times. I loved all of that. I thought that was
awesome.
I think that's the main thing. You just got to get the title off of Goldberg and never put it on these. Like a guy like a Goldberg, they can't put on a match. Like an Undertaker or Goldberg, they should never have a title. Brock Lesnar's the exception because he can still put on good matches or be entertaining when need be. So that's my only thing. If you can't put on a great match as champion, you shouldn't be the champion.
Well, Brock still strikes me as a champion, not Goldberg.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying
like that's just the thing in general. I just think Brock actually legitimately sells me as a champion. Goldberg, Goldberg only has like 4 moves and can't go longer than 4 minutes. You know what I mean? You're like, dude, you literally just run laps around the ring and you'll beat Goldberg. You know.
So I think the big thing is that I feel like I should have known they should have gone with Strowman. I feel like this is like a standard WWE or at least like old school wrestling like philosophy. When you have to switch up a match, the replacement guy, you put the title on the replacement guy, or you have the replacement guy win, just so it's unpredictable and it's a shock factor type victory. That's something that I've seen in the past, and it's a standard trope of old school wrestling storytelling. And I feel like that's what happened here.
Sebastian, is this like your Stan Jinder Mahal, or is this better?
I think he's frozen again.
Shit, he's frozen again. God damn it.
You know what it is? The match left him speechless.
All right, let's get to the fucking Boneyard match, man. Let's get to the main event. Easily the highlight of anything I've seen in 2020. This is... I can't take away from every match I've ever seen, but this instantly propelled itself in my top 5. Easily.
What?
Yes.
What? It was... Listen. All right. I'm not saying there was anything wrong with it necessarily, and I get the concept, and it's kind of cool. But it was a fucking action movie. It was an action movie.
Yes!
Which is cool. Don't get me wrong. But it wasn't a wrestling match. Just call it the fucking Undertaker AJ Styles movie or some shit. Don't tell me it's a goddamn Boneyard match.
Let me ask you something here, Kevin. Would you consider the Broken Matt Hardy matches that he does, the deletion matches, would you consider those matches?
Well, to be honest, I have never watched them.
I knew it. I knew it the second he started going off about this. I'm like, you've never seen the... Yeah, that makes sense.
So you never watched the Ultimate Deletion, the Final Deletion with, like, the Broken Matt stuff?
Mm-mm.
That's exactly...
Okay, so that's why. So when I first saw the Final Deletion between Broken Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy in TNA... I did not like it. I thought it was garbage. I thought it was the worst thing ever. The more I saw it, the more I liked it. And you can't... Here's the thing. With these matches, you can't take them too seriously. Because if you take them too seriously, you're not going to enjoy them. You got to take like the laughs that are going to be in there. They're not supposed to be taken seriously.
No.
That's the main thing. I think it's an acquired taste. That's the best way I can say about these matches.
It's like no one likes the taste of beer the first time you drink it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And unfortunately for Kevin, this was his first taste of a match like this. Like you have to, you got to have a couple of these to start to appreciate them.
Well, No, that's the thing is that, like I appreciate it for what it was, and I'm not like it was like it's a cool concept, and I understand why you would like it. It just didn't work for me. You know what
No,
I'm
I get
saying?
it. I get where you're coming from. That's a newbie. You're a newbie to the matches.
I love we just keep downplaying his opinion. He's like, I didn't fucking like it like this.
Yeah. Like you guys are like these highfalutin like fucking wrestling
I know.
fans looking
You guys
looking
keep
down your
thinking you're
nose
so
at
much
me.
better at me.
Yeah. You don't understand the finer points of this match, Kevin Crazy. Who do you think you are? Not liking this.
So here's the one thing. I'm just gonna notice on the whole thing because you're right, Kevin. That's how we're
You are
coming
so
off.
fucking right.
No, it's
dude.
okay.
We're just gonna move on from it and just like act like it didn't happen. We're gonna no sell it because you're right, Kevin.
God.
That's how it's coming off.
No, but the thing is like I'm not talking shit because you guys liked it. Like I said, I understand why somebody would like it. It's just not my thing. And maybe you're right. Maybe it's something like I'll see it again sometime and I will like it.
You'll grow to appreciate it. Hey!
We can't get rid of you.
Just in time for the outro. Thank you, everybody, for joining the Smack Drop podcast.
Did everybody like yell at Kevin for hating the Boneyard match though?
Oh yeah.
No, actually,
No,
Kevin
actually-
just put us in our place. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, I was
he
gonna-
just
That's
fucking.
bullshit. You don't stand for that.
Oh my god, man.
So, I think one thing I want to add to this whole thing is that this is how Undertaker Undertaker can go on wrestling another 3 to 5 years doing these kind of matches.
Yes.
And Matt Hardy is revolutionary. He's a great guy because he created these deletion matches, these like cinematic type matches, a new genre within the pro wrestling world that can extend wrestlers' careers and make people like the Undertaker that can't perform in the ring anymore, make them more valuable than what they currently are. Because that's the best Taker has looked since I want to say WrestleMania 31 or maybe WrestleMania 29. Like that's the last time I can think like Undertaker looked that great. And with certain type of characters, I feel like you can tap into these kind of things like Undertaker, The Fiend, Broken Matt. You can dive into these kind of specific type of matches. We're going to be talking about this kind of thing like 10 years from now. Like, damn, Matt Hardy started these kind of cinematic matches.
Made it okay for a lot of people, yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of people hated it. We're behind, like, similar to what Kevin was saying. Like, that wasn't wrestling. There was no actual in wrestling being performed. It was just a movie, but it took the best aspect of wrestling.
If you have wrestlers who have established characters, yes. Granted, man, I don't want to sit here. Okay, I'll just get out of the way. It's not for everybody. I'll point out the obvious. Kevin over here wasn't a fan. You and I can fucking put any spin we want on it. It's still not gonna be for some people, man. But
Yeah.
at the opposite side of the coin, when you got guys who are fucking great character workers, Undertaker, it's a fucking character, man. You can put drama behind it the way you did and instantly sink you in. Like the second fucking Metallica started playing while he's driving his motorcycle down the street, I was like, oh shit, we're in for some real stuff here.
No, I knew we were in. This match was going to be a classic for me. The minute that it started with like the hearse coming in, the Druids opening the trunk and taking out the casket, and then it was AJ. He starts throwing the two suit, and you hear
out of
Steve
like
Austin.
from Undertaker's music, because the whole thing was leading you to believe it was Undertaker's entrance too.
Yeah.
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 Oh my god, I fucking
Oh,
loved
man.
it. Like the entire thing, the only thing I can think of was like, got him. Like AJ Styles just saying, got him.
Dude,
It's like,
how
oh, this is so bad.
yo,
This
him
is
and
so
Taker,
scary.
like how they were squaring up, like when they met up, because there was no referee, there was nothing, you know, it was just silent, and then Undertaker's just approaching AJ. He's like, how you want to do this? You want to do this? And it felt awesome, man. It felt different. I don't know, like
It confirmed what I believed going into it, that it was going to be basically a buried alive match. They just couldn't say buried alive on network television. They couldn't say that on USA or Fox because you can't say that. You can't say buried alive match in the PG era of wrestling. So you just can't do it. And I think that's what they did. They had to find the new name for this match, but it was a buried alive match, and it was great.
Absolutely.
Once we knew it was a buried alive match setting, I loved it. I was so into it.
I loved every second of it, dude.
Sebastian, was it the greatest match of 2020?
No, but I loved it.
Okay. I wanted you to lean into us like really selling the match and
No,
popping for the
I
match
thought
and having Kevin being the only one that didn't like it. I
No,
wanted you to
no,
lean in
no,
heavy,
I
but you
love
didn't
the
follow my
fucking
lead.
match. I love the fucking match. Which I like Matt Hardy stuff too, but like you said, it isn't for everybody, and it took me a while to kind of warm up to Matt Hardy. Right before he came to WWE when he was doing the stuff with Impact. Took me a little bit, but going straight into the night, I thought that they made it obvious going in that this was not going to be your normal wrestling match. With just the name, Boneyard match, didn't know what it was going to be. The wife stuff. I thought they made it personal enough to make it feel like a real fight. Like these guys just met out and decided to just legit fight. And so I thought the whole setup was great. It fit everything that it really had to be.
I got to tell you, Sebastian, I am beyond surprised that that's your thing. Being that you're like the old school wrestling guy, that's like, you're not into even like spot fests and stuff like that, and you're like, this like movie trailer of a match is the best thing ever. It's cool. Like, I mean, it's cool, man. I'm not trying to harsh your mellow or anything. It just blows my mind.
Well, the thing is, like I said, this felt like these guys hate each other and went out in public and had a legit fist fight. Sure, you had the little gremlins or whatever you want to call them come out and all that. But most of it was just him and AJ brawling. So for me, I thought it was good. It's something that you shouldn't go to consistently. I think if you went to it every single week, every 2 weeks, it would kind of, flare out.
Could you see Undertaker starting a match with somebody in the ring, it going backstage, transitioning to this, letting Undertaker catch his breath, and then spill back out to the ring? And that extending his matches.
I can see that. I can see that totally, because Matt Hardy's actually done that where like they start off in the ring, they go do this cinematic stuff in the back, and then they come back and finish it inside the ring and to add to the match.
Yeah, man, I could do that.
So
I might be into that, honestly.
There's layers to this. I feel like there's layers that they can add and explore later down the line, but for the first of its kind, I mean, technically for Undertaker, it's the first time we've seen him in that kind of setting. It's a formula that might be able to extend his career.
Man, I thought it was fucking terrific. Yeah, and that's exactly what I was thinking. Like during it, I was like, shit, I could watch several of these Taker matches now. Like I could see you putting multiple spins on this shit.
If my internet holds up when we get off here, I'm watching it again.
Like,
Jesus Christ.
You can add other people from his past. You can get Kane in there. Shit. WWE's soulless. They'll probably CG and fucking Paul Bearer into that shit.
I'll be honest, which I didn't really think about him having a match tomorrow when I thought about it. But when Anderson and Gallows showed up, in my brain, I was like, Aleister Black. He's kind of a dark guy. But yeah, I wouldn't think about him having a match tomorrow. It wouldn't have made sense. But yeah, it did pop up in my brain.
But
not bad.
It was overall a great match. I mean, some of the highlights away from it was Undertaker getting the initial advantage, Gallows and Anderson coming in, backed by about like 8 druids. They still couldn't go overboard with the extras because they had to keep the social distancing,
Don't forget the shit talking, dude.
Yes, the shit talking, that, like I said, that's something like you just have to watch the match. But Undertaker bringing up, like you wanted to talk about Michelle, just shit talking like you talked all this game while he's backing up AJ. But then when AJ's getting the upper hand, he mounts Taker and he punches him and you hear this crack and AJ's like, you broke my damn hand. Like, yes, like there was so much good character work. At one point...
AJ telling AJ to go out like a man and all
that. Well,
that.
before we got to that, where Undertaker was speared through the fence and then sat up against the post, and AJ was essentially reading him his last rites.
Yeah.
That was very nice because it gave you that look of Undertaker at his worst. Like Undertaker just went through the spectrum. of like the whole area from his character, from dominating phenom to like man on his last leg. He gave you every like extent of his character, and the format really accented it very well, I think. But then, yeah, you're right. It ending with AJ thought he was going to get Taker in the burial pit, and Taker gets the upper hand, and you're right. And then telling AJ, like, essentially.
No. You're underselling how he got the upper hand. He teleported behind AJ Styles cinematically. Had like this glow behind him, and from there it was all downhill for AJ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking AJ forgot, man. You're dealing with a dead wizard, okay? Like, he's got these powers, and the universe you're meeting him in definitely lends to those powers, AJ.
I like to believe that Undertaker, outside of like this realm that they're in, doesn't have these powers anymore. Like, he's slowly losing his mythical powers, but when he's in his element, somehow he regains all these magical powers. That's how he was able to make flame come out and all this shit.
Yes.
When he's in a graveyard, that's when he's at his highest peak.
Yes.
But now,
Exactly.
see, I want to see
Excuse me, Boneyard. Boneyard.
But now I want to see a return of like other characters, like Kane in this universe, Stone Cold in this universe. This universe could lend to the Attitude Era guys. The Brood. Like, think about that shit, man. People who can't wrestle anymore can get away because you can get fucking stuntmen in there.
You can get Christian to have another match.
Dude, I'm telling you, this universe will lend itself to the Attitude Era. You just revived the Attitude Era with this match.
Again, this match was won by Undertaker. He did bury AJ Styles. The closing image of AJ's hand just sticking out after he got buried, I thought was very, very well. Like how Undertaker took off like the seaweed or whatever it was, like the leaves off of the headstone, and it revealed AJ Styles' name on there. It would have been very awkward if AJ Styles actually won the match and the Undertaker was buried and it said AJ Styles. And I had to like really like cross that off with like a Sharpie or something. But I thought this match, what it did was give me hope for that Cena Fiend match tomorrow, and got me more excited for WrestleMania Night 2.
Mm-hmm.
I think they accomplished that in getting me more excited. Guys, are you more excited for Night 2 than you were for Night 1 after what we saw tonight?
I mean, looking at the card, it has most of the, bigger matches. It has the Brock match. It has the first ever NXT women, title match on it.
Yeah.
The only real kind of match is Black versus Lashley. But
that could be good. That could be good.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about like build wise. Like
Yeah.
just
Oh,
yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
That's the match with the least build.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
every
for
other
sure.
match. Well,
Otis and Ziggler have like the best
my God.
story leading into this, probably. Like, especially after that hacker segment on Friday, where it was.
Kevin, you have people in the chat fangirling for you right now. Just a heads up. We got people. No, we got people. We got people in the live chat going like, "We love you, Kevin!" Like exclamation points, everything, man.
Oh yeah, Kevin.
They're on the Facebook page.
I am that bitch.
It better not be because they didn't like the Boneyard match. We'll have to have a conversation.
No, I think he just drives the ladies crazy is all.
Okay, well, I'll take that.
Yeah.
I am a ladies' man.
Okay.
Anyway,
I think we're rambling on, guys.
No, to add on to what you say. Yeah, I initially going into WrestleMania, I was kind of like, yeah, I'm excited for it, but I really wasn't until the music hit, the opening promo. Even Stephanie McMahon did her job. Woke my ass up and was like, this is WrestleMania, damn it. You need to feel special. This is like a holiday. And the fact that we get to go through it tomorrow, I guess, yeah, technically I'd be more excited now. Because tonight I'm going to leave on a high tonight. So,
And they've done a decent job, too. No fans, all this other circumstances. But they tried to still make WrestleMania moments.
They're saying nice beard, Kevin, by the way. People are complimenting your beard now.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I really, really do.
Braun winning the belt.
It's all for the ladies.
Kevin Owens.
Sorry, Sebastian. Sorry.
You're good. But I was just saying they've still done a good job with like making Mania moments. Braun winning the belt as anticlimactic as it was, a KO jumping from the sign. the Boneyard match.
Jesus, Kevin Owens coming off that sign was
Yeah,
nasty.
so they
That was
did-
nuts. Yeah.
The ladder match was special, I thought.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I thought the ladder match was the match of the night for me.
By the way, Kyle, I guess, kind of had some similar thoughts. I've been watching some Dragon Ball here lately, just rewatching.
Yeah, we talked about
We did too.
And like even before the ladder match, I kind of felt like it started hitting me like this kind of reminds me of no fans, you know. Of Dragon Ball. People just somewhere fighting it out with nobody
If
having
you-
a clue in the world.
Tomorrow, during the matches that have no audience and no ambience, get online and start playing like dramatic Dragon Ball Z music to whatever match you were watching. It will enhance the hell out of it. It added so much on my end.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have my Bluetooth headphones on. Not these. I got these other like wireless ones. I'm gonna plug those in, and I'm gonna play the Dragon Ball Z Bruce Faulkner soundtrack that's on Spotify. And I'm gonna start playing like random intense Dragon Ball Z theme songs during like these matches to see if it adds to the.
I'm telling you, it does. Like heart to my chest or hand to my chest. It absolutely does, man. Like,
I mean,
Oh man.
yeah.
But yeah, man.
Or I'm
Honestly, no. I think you're totally correct. I think you throw in any dramatic anime like song in there, and it might work. I think the big takeaway from tonight is that it didn't feel initially like WrestleMania because you weren't having like a WrestleMania watch party. You weren't doing like this big planning get together, and it was 2 nights. It was separated. You weren't sure what matches were going to be on which night up until like an hour beforehand. The way they did the kickoff show where it was Corey Graves and Peter Rosenberg in the green screen area really like bummed me down for a second because like, man, fans really aren't going to be there. Is it really going to feel like WrestleMania?
yeah.
Initially, I felt bummed at some stuff, but WWE did great to make me forget that there were no fans there. And as the night went along, I got more excited for WrestleMania. This felt like WrestleMania to me, minus the fans. And then they got me geeked up tomorrow. My mentality going into WrestleMania Night 2 has turned a complete 180. And that's the best thing that I could have asked for.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
Thank you all for joining us. You guys have a wonderful rest of your evening. We'll catch you on night 2 of WrestleMania.
Sorry about my internet, guys.
It's all good. We love you, Sub.
Deuces. Yeah, we
I'm
do
glad to
love
be
you,
back.
Seb.
Glad to be back.